Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Fangirlz Assemble. I'm Fariha, and joining me all the way from Kentucky, right? Kristan and Maddie. How are you both?
Hey.
Maddie,
Good. How are you guys?
I'm doing excellent. Maddie, you have some good news for us?
Yeah, so I got engaged.
Yay!
Yesterday. Yeah, I proposed at MacFest in cosplay as like the nerdiest thing I could have done. So
what else would you do, right?
Yeah. And then I had to drive 8 hours back from DC today, so I am doing my best in this show.
No, and we also had met up with each other yesterday, and then actually touched, to say that, oh my God, you're real. That's like.
I can't believe that
we're catfishing each other the whole time.
That's one of the things that Maddie's like, oh my God, you're alive. You're real.
The first thing Maddie said to me was, "Oh my God, you have legs," and I was like, "Yeah."
So
I can't wait till we eventually all meet together, so we can finally.
Yeah, finally we can all see each other's legs. Because I think at this point, by association, we have all met each other. Like Maddie met Kristan, I met Maddie. Therefore,
Maddie's the one.
Yeah,
therefore, the one who unites us.
Yeah, therefore I met Kristan. And she was there in spirit. We held up her picture as well.
Thank you for
it. So. Yay, it was a good weekend for us.
We can talk about this later, but Reed and I are thinking of going to Baltimore Comic-Con this year, so...
Oh my God, you guys.
Well, if you go, I have to go. That's the rule.
I mean, right?
And the thing is, I have a football stadium at my home, so you guys are more than welcome to sleep here.
Wow, fancy.
You don't even have to worry about that.
I'm in.
Okay.
I want to see the shelf in person.
Yes, and you also have to meet,
yeah, that's who I want to see.
Like that dude, cardboard. You guys, my sister freaked out today because I was talking to her, and she's like, "Oh my God, there's a man behind you!"
That's so good.
And I'm like, no, it's meet your brother-in-law.
That reminds me when I was a teenager, I had a Spike from Buffy cardboard cutout in my room, and my room was next to the bathroom. Yeah, of course I did. But the first time I got it, the way I placed it, I guess, when you're in the bathroom and the door's open, the mirror, he was in the mirror, right? So the first time my mom was like, it scared me to death. I opened the door and I thought there was a man in your room.
Listen, the first day I came back from work after you guys brought him to my home, I was like, I actually had 911 dialed. Anyway, chit-chatting aside, Kristan, Maddie, where do you go to get your all the comic books that you guys read all the time?
InStockTrades.com. I'm currently waiting on an order, so yeah.
I am too. We
get everything up to 50% off. Sometimes if we're lucky, more. They have awesome sales every week and on damages, and you can get free shipping if you spend more than $50. Woo!
Right.
Yeah. I'll never pay for shipping ever again.
No, oh my God. Never.
Yeah, I know that Kristan had this thing, even if she has to pay $40 extra to get the $10 book you needed.
That's right. You go to your wish list and you're like, what do I need? Okay.
If anything, it just justifies when you secretly do want to pay more, even though you're like, I'm not really spending, and you're like, well, listen, at IST, as long as I spend $50, I have to buy these extra books to make sure I get free shipping, of course.
We've all been there.
That's how they get you. But anyway, go to InStockTrades.com for all your collected editions needs. All right, with that out of the way, what are we talking about today?
Best of 2018. All the books we loved, some we didn't like. That'll be fun.
Yes, we have a lot to talk about. And then Maddie's going to wing it.
Yeah, guys, I was at MacFest this weekend. And that's why I was around Fariha's area. So I just got home 30 minutes ago from an 8-hour car drive. So we're just going to wing it and hope that I remember what I've read this year, because honestly, this has been the first full year of me reading comics. And so I don't even know. I don't even know what I've been reading.
Listen, so in order to find my favorites, I had to go through my Goodreads list and stuff. And then as I was going through it, I'm like, wait, I read this? when did I read this? What did I think about this? Then I went to Facebook to the group and then read my own review. And then I'm like, really? I thought that? I don't remember. So
my favorite was being like, wait, I read that? What was that about? Like,
yes, there was a lot of that. And the thing is, the ones, and to be honest though, it actually helps in a way because the ones that you truly remember, then you know, that was actually my favorite.
Those were the good ones. Yeah.
Those were the good ones. So
or the ones you really remember because they were so bad.
Oh my.
Yes.
There's like, okay, when we get to our bad ones, we're going to talk about this. I remember, when it comes to bad books, I remember every panel. And I'm like, why? Stop!
It's the ones you really loved and you really didn't like. But all those middle ones, which are probably good, we don't remember those.
We don't remember those.
Who knows?
There's some moments I do remember. But anyway, we're gonna see. Okay, Kristan, do you want to get us going?
Yeah.
Do you want to go through the way we talked about, or do you want to just pick and choose? Like, I mean,
let's jump around just because obviously we want to end on our all-time favorite, right?
Right. That's what I was gonna say.
Top two in there. Do you want? We could go bottom up.
The bottom up is kind of weird though.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just go with. I'm gonna start. Favorite indie read. Go with that. Let's go with that.
Okay. Now this was really hard for me, as you can imagine, because I read more indie than anything else this year, as is probably every year, because that's me. So I'll tell you my honorable mention.
Hang on. Indie is not DC, not Marvel.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what I'm going with.
So Image, Dark Horse, all the other stuff, we are considering them to be indie, right? Yes. Okay, go.
That works for me.
It makes it easier, yep.
Okay, go for it.
My honorable mention would be Lost Soul, Be at Peace, which I know Free and I both read. I really, really enjoyed it. It was also a nonfiction title.
You're trying to...
It is. It is. I think technically on the back of the book, I don't own it, so I don't know. It really, anyway. Anyway, I loved it a lot. I found it very, very unique. I love Maggie Thrash. As I said before, I got to mention again, she still follows and still likes my cats on Instagram pictures. So I just always think it's funny when I like post a picture 2 seconds later, it's like Maggie Thrash liked Willow on Instagram. I'm like, of course she did, because she's cute, but also that's awesome.
Also, you're a sellout.
I'm a sellout. That's right. They have over 2,500 Instagram followers.
Wow.
No, I'm just saying that just because Maggie likes your post now, you have to like all her stuff as well.
Oh yeah,
I'm joking, by the way.
Actually don't.
I'm joking, by the way, because her books are actually good, so you don't have to try.
Yeah, so I really love that. I'd love for Maddie to read it sometime. I think you'll really enjoy it, Maddie. So you should check that out. Add that to your list. Yeah, I will. But my favorite all-time indie read of 2018 has to be Louisa Then and Now.
Ooh. Tell us a bit more about it.
Talked about it. Oh my gosh. What can I say that we haven't said? It is about a girl who, the whole thing starts out, she's on a bus listening to music, and she gets off the bus and she runs into herself. What was it, like 20 years later? More than that?
Right. 15.
About 20 years later. 15? Yeah. Okay.
Like, she was 32 when she gets off.
That makes sense. Okay. And the rest of the book is really about them, discovering like her life isn't what it's like she thought it would be when she got older, and then her older self is recognizing what her youth was, and she didn't realize how she was back then. And it's really about finding yourself, but then there's also this time travel kind of aspect to it. And then the ending was just so good. And when you could have a great story, you've got to nail that ending, and that's what makes it fantastic. So if you guys haven't read it, anybody watching, it's by Humanoids. Mark Waid endorses it also and loves it. You should check out Louisa Then and Now.
Yeah. And, I was just going to say that Mark Waid and us, we fangirled and fanboyed over it. So
that's probably my favorite part of that interview, because I feel like we all related to each other. We were just like, this is an amazing story that we're not hearing enough people talk about. And the fact that he likes it too was just kind of like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. Then he brought up Chris Evans, and I was like, that was weird.
And that was your favorite part.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. But anyway, Maddie, what's yours?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and preface our show tonight that I have a hard time remembering what came out this year and what didn't. So a lot of my
it's your favorite
I read. So I have a couple that come to mind just because they're on my shelves. But I have a big list, but I'll try to narrow it down. One of my favorite things that came out this year, for sure, that I know, is The Adventure Zone, which is the graphic novel for the podcast by the McElroy brothers. I love it. I love fantasy, and I love D&D stories. And they did such a good job with this. Honestly, it is so faithful to the podcast, but at the same time adds a little extra bits in there, and the art is so good, and the characters are so great, and it was so lovely to be able to relive this whole story. So I was so happy when it came out. I got it signed. It's just great, and honestly, I think it's great even for people who didn't listen to the podcast. So this is one of the big loves of the year, and I can't. If we're mentioning non-DC Marvel stuff, I have to mention my big obsession of the year, which is Red Sonja. And so Red Sonja by Gail Simone, obviously, of course, the Jenny Ferguson cover. That changed a lot for me this year because I love awesome female lead warrior women in comic books, and this gave me everything I could ever want, and I had no idea. And I'm glad I picked this up because I honestly, looking at the cover, I didn't think that I would. I was like, maybe this isn't for me. And I was wrong. I was so wrong. It's amazing. It changed my life, and now I have an incredibly expensive statue in my home because of her. So, also Rachel Rising, because I read that this year. I know it came out forever ago, but it still sticks with me. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to reading Red Sonja and also the Adventure Zone or Adventure Time. Which one?
Adventure Zone.
Yeah, I got both.
I still need to read that.
Yeah, I got both of them actually. Red Sonja, after you endorsed it, that's when I put it back on my list as the Kick-Ass Lady review that I do. And, so I'm actually looking forward to reading that, and also the Amy Chu run that comes after it. So yeah, that's going to be 2019. So my favorite indie read of 2018, and it's going to continue to happen. Well, I guess that's okay. Having two favorites. So first one is Wrinkles by Paco Roca. That
one hurts.
Yeah, Kristan read it too, and Kristan's like, why?
I need to read it. It's literally on my list to read next.
So that's kind of it's set in Alzheimer, a senior home, and there's a lot of people who are losing their memory due to Alzheimer, and it's actually from the point of view of different people, but who are all in the senior home. And it's just so sad because, and one of the things, it's so authentic, and because it's in European comics, I think their paneling is done differently, their storytelling is done differently. It's so different than everything else you would see from American comics, let's say. And the author himself said that every stories that happen, every senior citizen that's included in the story are actually real life people, because he went to senior homes to talk to different people, and these are actually examples from them. So it feels so authentic, and it just it kills you. I would not recommend it for anyone who have actually gone through that scenario, because it's very real and it's very raw. So, but it's one of the ones that I remember because, as soon as I was looking at indie, I'm like, oh, that's the first one that came to my mind. I didn't even have to look for anything else. And the second one was Freak Angels by Warren Ellis. It's actually available for free. So if you can go look up Freak Angels or Warren Ellis, you would be able to read it, all of it, for free online right now. And it's a legal source, so it's not an illegal source or anything. And that's actually 12 badass, people who were born all at the same time with extreme superpowers, and they ended the world. They just decided the world is too bad, so they ended it. And then they decided to, whatever the leftovers, they decided to, be their kings and queens. And it's such a unique story, and every single characters are someone you can connect to. There is a super horny lady. There is someone who doesn't care about it. All the stereotypes you can think of, but it's not stereotypes in a bad way. But Anyway, I love Warren Ellis. I love, like, you know, his competence porn, as I call it, where everyone is such badasses. So, and this is like a peak Warren Ellis in terms of that. So yeah, that was like my favorite 2 indie reads of this year. Even though I read a lot more, but those 2, like, I remember every panels of them. So that's why those kind of sticks to mind. All right, so let's go with Marvel read. Favorite Marvel read next. Kristan.
That has to be, hands down, Rogue and Gambit.
Yeah!
By Kelly Thompson. I loved it so much. You guys know I'm a huge Rogue fan, and I mean, there's nothing I didn't like about this. I love this so much. So definitely Rogue and Gambit.
I fully endorse that. As of someone who never read a Rogue or a Gambit comic or even an X-Men comic, I read it. I loved it. I am now a huge shipper of them. Like,
Good,
I mean,
you should be.
Yeah, it's perfect. Are you reading the follow-up?
I haven't yet. I'm gonna wait till
I haven't yet.
Is it out yet? Is it collected?
I don't think it's collected yet. No,
the collected comes somewhere. Yeah, somewhere in March. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, Maddie, do you have anything else, Kristan?
Oh no, that's it. That's the one.
Okay, Maddie.
I have a lot, but at the top of my list is definitely Unstoppable Wasp. I think it's a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic read.
Oh, Maddie, can't hear
you. You're muted.
I will say Unstoppable Wasp would be my other one, so that's a good one. I forgot about that one.
We're just going to do like this, and I'll try to plug it in more, but I'll talking later. Okay, so Unstoppable Wasp definitely the top of my list. I think if you're looking for a good entry point into Marvel and to reading the comics, and you want to read about female characters, she's a great one to start with. Not just because it's a great story, she's a great character, very compelling. The cast of characters in there are great, but also because you get to meet some other Marvel ladies, and it just starts this like black hole where you just like, oh, Mockingbird, okay, I read this. Okay, ooh, the original Wasp, okay, I read about her, and like you just keep going. So she's definitely the top, and then definitely all new Wolverine. Because I mean, I know that came up before, but that's what I've read this year, and I love it. And I know probably Fariha's gonna say Black Bolt.
Oh yes!
I'll let her say it because Black Bolt was such a surprise, such a random pickup, and honestly was so good. Beautiful art, great story. I would have never cared about Black Bolt ever, but that book changed everything. Saladin Ahmed is amazing, and I guess I'm a forever fan of his because it was great. So, Unstoppable Wasp, All New Wolverine, and definitely Black Bolt. If you haven't read those, please.
Right. So Maddie already picked my favorite Marvel read. So I've been reading like shit ton of Marvel this year, and you know, I'm always, I don't know if anyone can tell, but you know, Marvel is kind of like my favorite, more favorite than DC. But anyway, so my favorite is like, I completely agree everything that Maddie said about Black Bolt. After reading Black Bolt, I actually started reading all the other inhumane humanity, whatever, those people, their stories. Like I actually started reading all of them right now. So I read these 2, and then I had to read the Uncanny. So they became like, you know, my favorites after reading that. So which is kind of to me like another side that it's a good read, that if it makes you want to read other things of that same characters. So that one, and the other one I have to mention is Brubaker's Captain America. I know it came out like, you know, long time ago, back in like 2005, 2008, but I finished it finally this year, and I don't know, I have a newfound respect for Captain America. I mean, I don't know who would have thought, but it was just a delight to read the whole thing back to front. Like I started reading it actually like 3 years ago. 4 years ago when did Winter Soldier came out? 5 years ago. 2014. That's when I started reading that. And then slowly I finally finished it. So this year I read the whole thing again. And oh my God, I just had a newfound respect. And so yeah, that would be my other one. So with that, so it seems like 2 out of 3 endorsement for Black Bolt. Kristan, we're watching.
I know. I wrote it down.
We're
guys.
watching.
It's on my paper. I wrote it down.
All right. Well, let's move on to our favorite DC read of 2018.
I picked one that shouldn't be a surprise, but it's still a surprise to me because I never thought I would pick a DC title with Super in the title.
Oh yeah,
but Supergirl being Super was my favorite DC read. It was so good. The only bad thing about it is it ended, and I was like, wow, I want more. But I never thought I would say that. So that's because of you guys. So thank you guys.
Right. Yeah.
So it's hard for me to choose because I read a lot of DC.
Mhm.
A lot. I usually keep up with everything, so it's kind of hard to decide like which rebirth thing I think is great. Supergirl being Super is, I mean, hands down, amazing. If I had to choose other things, definitely Super Sons. It's a great title. And I think even if you don't read the rebirth titles, Super Sons is really great. Besides that, I'd say Rebirth Superman. I haven't read any of the newest run with Bendis, but everything that I read before that has been pretty phenomenal and pretty wonderful, and it feels like a real DC title. So, yeah.
Awesome. I'm actually looking forward to reading Super Sons and Superman because, I feel like I should read them. So my DC reads are none of them came out this year because I don't keep up with DC. So I have, it's two. The first one is Mike Grail's Green Arrow. I don't know, it was one of the ones that's so advanced for its time. It was written back in late 80s or early 90s. But in terms of feminism, social issues, all these kind of things, people talk about oh, comics are too SJW now. They didn't read Mike Grail's Green Arrow. Some of the things that gets talked about in there are just phenomenal, and the character work done in it is just amazing. I've been tooting my horn about this since I read it. So Mike Grail's Green Arrow was one of my most favorite reads. And especially there is one thing where it's Black Canary had to go and save Green Arrow, which was it's a complete gender swapped in terms of a lot of those things. It's not just for that. It's also wonderful writing. I really liked it. Another one that also came out around the same time, but I read it this year, was The Question by Denny O'Neil. Those trades are super out of print, and that's kind of sucks because that's also a wonderful story about it's set in a very gritty city of Hub City, and he's pretty much he's an investigative reporter who goes around and trying to help people, and it's really dark, but I really enjoyed it, and it was one of those things. It's they don't write comics like that anymore, kind of thing. It's gritty without being edgy. It's without having to throw some weird random turn at you. It's just perfectly written. So that was also another one of my favorite this year. So yeah. All right. The next one. Favorite miniseries.
Oh, miniseries.
Yeah, because
I gotta scroll. Oh yes. I have that somewhere. My favorite miniseries of this year. It's 3 trades, very accessible. I have even told Fariha she should read it because there's no hockey players. It is Royal City by Jeff Lemire. It is fantastic. It will hurt you because, of course, it's sad, but it's also really great, and it's worth the read.
It's by Image or Dark Horse?
It's by Image.
Okay. That is one I'm really anticipating hardcover, either announced this year or next year, or else I'm probably just going to find the trades from the library or something.
I'm hoping so too. I bought this one and then I just read the rest from the library, so I can easily upgrade and not feel weird about it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's the one.
Maddie, do you got one?
It's really hard to choose, honestly. I'm not entirely sure what I would say, except the thing that comes to mind, and I only say I read it I started reading it last year, but the trade just came out this year. It's heavy vinyl. I've talked about it on the show before. It's a nice, simple read, but it's cute and stuck with me. The art stuck with me. And I can't say why, but I think I have to go with this one.
Yeah, and the thing is, it kind of leaves you with wanting more, though. Like, I wish there was.
It does. I would like more personally.
Yeah, because I
don't know what happened behind the scenes. Like, maybe it was supposed to be further than this. I'm not sure, but
yeah. So the only reason I kind of introduced this category so that I can nominate another one of Saladin Ahmed's book, Quicksilver, No Surrender. That book, it was a 5-issue miniseries that spun out of Avengers No Surrender, and it kind of goes. Saladin Ahmed can do this with any character. Like, I feel like Marvel should just keep on giving him different characters for him to do this. He done it with Black Bolt, where he takes Black Bolt's entire history and then reintroduces you to you and then makes you cry in the process. And he does the exact same thing with someone like Quicksilver. You know that guy who had weird accident in Age of Ultron and then died and no one cared? Yeah, that Quicksilver. Like, I had no connection to this character, but I read it and I'm like, I want to read more about him. Like, what's his life like, or what's his history? So Quicksilver by Saladin Ahmed, and he also, like, the one that I would always remember it for, because he's a fast, like, he's Quicksilver, he's fast and everything, so he gets a turtle as his pet, because, and he names the turtle Dibbles.
Honestly, I would love to read it because, like, I've never read any Quicksilver in comics, but I used to read fan fiction of Quicksilver.
Of course you did.
For X-Men Evolution. I'd like to know what he's actually like. Like, I've seen him a little bit here and there, but I haven't read anything with him.
Right.
And if Saladin Ahmed's writing it, then I'm in. That's all it takes.
And the thing is, it actually talks about that, him because he's mostly a jackass most of the time, and it kind of tells you why he's that way, and you're like, yeah, I get you guys. Like, you're okay. And the thing is, like, the coloring is done by Kristan's friend, Rico Renzi, and
not my friend. A friend of a friend.
Friend of a friend.
That counts.
Anyway, like, friend of a friend.
He's great.
Yeah, but the coloring of it is done so well, because the thing is, like, it kind of shows you that he's moving fast and everyone else is kind of slowed down, and it's amazing. Everyone, please go read that book and
write it down.
Yeah, it's and you don't need everything that happens. Like, it's like a spins out of Avengers No Surrender, but it tells you right in front of it what happened. Like, It gives you a 1-page summary. Like he tells you the summary, and you're like, oh, good, I know where I am, and then go. So it's amazing. So yeah. So the next one, I actually introduced that one as well, so that I can snuck in another one of my favorite original graphic novel, OGN.
All right, this one was easy. I will say I have an honorable mention, which is the Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, because it was adorable and I loved it. And it is one of those where you want more at the end, but it's still really, really great. I'm happy you guys read that. But I'm taking your pick because I picked Sheets. So spoiler. But it was so good. We've praised this to death, and I'm just so happy that you read it and you loved it too. It's just so good. Anyone who hasn't read this, published by Lion Forge, they're doing awesome work. Like, this was just incredible.
So yeah, so I introduced this category just so I could pick Sheets, which
and I was like, oh yeah, I did that.
Sniped it.
Yeah, she just went and sniped. I should have said that. Anyway, so it's by Brenna Tumblr, and it's this. Like, it makes you have all the feelings in the world.
Yes.
So the story is literally a girl. She's taking care. She's like a teen girl. First time ever I could stand a teenager. Like, she's only 13, but she's taking care of her family business because her mother passed away, and she's trying to keep the business afloat when everyone, like, the town's people are against it, and there are like all these things, and then there's a ghost, like, who's literally a sheet, because in this world, like, when you pass away, you come back as a ghost, and sheet is the only way. So
they look like this.
Yes, so that's what they look like. Hang on, show it again. Sorry, like.
Oh, I found another one. Here we go.
Yeah,
and the art is incredible, by the way.
Right, And then, so they're just like Sheets just, haunts the laundromat, and then they become friends. And there's a lot of things going on. There's that one scene where the sheet is kind of like ironing itself and then going like, that's a good spot. It's just like this, it has this like wonderful, wonderful times, like, moments in it. And oh God, it just makes you feel so much.
It is one of those books too where the colors really help make the story. I mean, it's all, and she did everything, I think.
Yes.
And that's incredible.
Yeah. So I mean, and the thing is, like, the Ghost World has a different color than non-Ghost World.
Yeah.
And then there's all this, like, everything. It's just amazing. Maddie, you gotta
so well
read
done.
this.
Yeah, Maddie, write it down.
I know. Well, now that my busy season's over, I can finally go back to reading books.
Oh yeah, here's that muted color of like the Ghost World. I do love that like distinct difference. It's just the little things in this just really make it amazing. Everybody go pick it up.
Right. All right. So Maddie, do you have a pick for OGN?
I don't know if I do. The only thing I can think of that I can recommend, or that was my favorite, if that would fit in that category. Can I just kind of say Uzumaki? Can I just say that instead? Yeah, so I think my favorite, like, just graphic novel that feels like a graphic novel is definitely Uzumaki that I read this year, which I know it came out, forever, a million years ago. But I never read Junji Ito, which is so weird for me because I love Japanese horror. Like, love it. And I finally read Uzumaki, and now I'm addicted to Junji Ito. So it's like this book was written for me. Oh my God.
It's been on my shelf forever too, and I'm just like, I need to read that.
It's so terrifying and so clever, and just beautifully drawn. It's amazing, and I can't look at snails the same way again. And now I'm noticing there's all these spirals on my couch across from me.
Oh no!
Which I never noticed. But anyways,
and now you have to read Cat Diary.
Absolutely, no, I want all of it, and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at this. It feels so nice.
They're gorgeous.
So how many volumes are of this?
This is just one. So it's all individual stories. From what I understand. So most of his books are just like collected by themselves. So this is just one story. Uzumaki means spiral in Japanese. Mm-hmm. And they, like, with all the recent re-releases of these books, there are all these really nice hardcovers. And you don't see that for a lot of like manga type of things. It's so good, but it's creepy. I don't know. So you like scary things.
I may pick it up for October. I mean, you guys been trying to get me to read manga, so I may.
It's a good one to read.
Yeah,
I'll read it with you.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. All right. So fun. there's like something that we're gonna read. All right. So then let's go with favorite ongoing series. So I guess like series that hasn't ended yet. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I know what you're gonna pick.
Do you? I'm trying to get my thing up.
Does it start with G and end with
I already
S?
knew what it was. I don't know why I'm looking for it. Yeah. I'm like, did I have an honorable mention? No, because it's always Giant Days. I guess my honorable mention is Lumberjanes because that's still great. But Giant Days Forever, I mean, what more can I say that I haven't already said? It's the best. You can pick up these nice hardcovers. You should. There's 3. Pick it up. It's fantastic.
And that was our pick for November, which we still haven't reviewed. So we're gonna do that sometimes this month because this is our.
I wonder if I'll like it.
No, we can probably do it next week because we were finally all together.
Yes, we were kind of like in and out all of December. So and if we are doing the review, we actually have a book to give away because Boom Studio was nice enough to give us a copy of the one that Kristan just showed, the volume 3. So
a nice yellow volume.
Yeah, we're gonna find out a way to make the giveaway happen next week, and it will happen. So yes, Giant Days. I fully endorse that as well. So Maddie, do you have one ongoing? I know that you read a lot of Marvel ongoings though, right?
Not so much. I mean, I guess I do, but I only read what I have on Marvel Unlimited.
No, I'm talking about DC ongoing.
I read a lot of DC ongoing. So, everything's kind of in flux right now. So I'm not sure where a lot of these are going. But from what I was reading, definitely Batgirl. I really, really like that. But I'm not sure how I'm going to like the change. Superman's great. Super Sense is over, so never mind. Batman's been great. Detective Comics is really, really good. I wish I could say Titans, but Tom King killed everything like he kills everything I love. But we can talk about that later. We'll get to those. Snot Girl. Snot Girl's still one of my like all-time favorites. I have no idea where it's going, and I'm so excited about it because I can predict DC stuff more or less, right? But I have no idea what Snot Girl is. I don't know what it's doing. I think it's a psychological horror. I don't really know. So
that's how I felt after the first trade, and I wondered if the second one cleared anything up at all. But I guess it hasn't. So.
No, I still don't really know. It's just getting spookier.
Okay.
So, but I love that. I love things like that. I like being surprised. So I hope that I continue to be surprised. I hope we still kind of go that route. So we'll see what happens.
All right. So I one of my pet peeves is reading ongoing stuff. I can't do that. I can't, absolutely, it's not a thing that I do. But Giant Days, because of Kristan, I got into this. Like,
yes.
because she kept on talking about it. So I'm like, fine,
yes.
I'm going to read this. And then I did. And now it kills me that it's not, like, I can't read anymore because it's like in a limbo. So because of that.
And it still gets better and better.
I know, right?
Like, I'm caught up to current issue, and it's so good.
I know. So I have to wait till like the hardcovers come around. So yeah, I don't actually read, and then even if like it's not that I don't actually read. I don't read ongoings. Even if it's like a DC or Marvel, a writer has to finish his or her run before I pick it up. There's no compromise on that. You know, we're not reading that because you're not leaving me in a fucking limbo. So, but even with that, Giant Days is one. The other one, I kind of got in, like, you know, accidentally read it, thinking that, you know, it's over. But then I found out it's not over. Monstrous by
absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
So
and we're getting a big hardcover of that, right?
Yes.
Monstrous.
I actually sold I sold my trades for that, and in July, the hardcover comes around, and I am actually really looking forward to next year's NYCC, so I can get it signed by Marjorie again.
Nice.
It's a wonderul world, like of a fantasy. We still don't know what's going on. 18 issues in, it's still kind of in a world building phase, but the world is just so amazing, and so like it's like it makes Game of Thrones feels like Teletubbies, like. I don't know. Well, Teletubbies is kind of brutal, but
well, I mean, it's such a refreshing take as far as world building.
Right.
Because if you see fantasy worlds like this, it's always very Western,
right?
You know, and they do such a good job of making it just. They have a lot of the Eastern influences, and it's just a great melding of all of these things that we don't normally see in like fantasy books.
Right.
So, it's beautiful.
And the thing is, like, you don't know who to believe, like which side to believe, because there's like all these different factions that are kind of against each other. I mean, it's just, I don't even know why I thought it was over. I should have never read. I mean, you know, that and Saga is the other one. Oh my God. I think I'm going to die. Like, you know, I am actually caught up to Saga. So, because I couldn't wait. So I caught up. So I'm not gonna try to, you know, ruin it. But that's that. So yeah, Monstrous and Saga and Giant Days, obviously, always. So yeah, those are kind of like my favorite ongoing series. You will never hear me talk about Marvel or DC. I ain't doing that. Like, no. Everyone finish your run, then I will read it. All right. So the next one is favorite writer of 2018.
Favorite writer, mine is easy to guess. That would be John Allison.
No,
because again,
what?
You're kidding.
I've never read a Giant Days issue I didn't love, and I think that really says something because they're always spot on and wonderful. And even if it wasn't the best story ever, it was still really great, and I enjoyed it. So it's John Allison.
So the way I kind of picked my favorite writer is not necessarily my favorite writer of all time, but someone who became my favorite this year. So do you have someone like that, Kristan?
Yeah, that would probably be Tilly Walden.
Oh.
I read On a Sunbeam, Spinning, and what is it called? A City Inside, I believe. Yeah, City Inside. And I loved all of them. So yeah, Tilly Walden would probably be my favorite of In that sense, yeah.
Okay.
John Allison probably isn't my favorite writer of all time. That'd probably be Jeff Lemire, but I just consistently loved Giant Days all year. But that's probably the rest of my life, isn't it? So until it ends, and then I cry.
I don't know. In a way, I want it to end so that I can be like, it's ended. I can finish it. But the other way, I don't want it to end. I want it to be like they become old and then their grandkids.
That's what I want. And the thing is, it's so like each issue you could really read standalone and have a good time. You know, and that's probably easier for you, Fariha, because like it's not something that's like, oh, that story arc will never end. You know, 'cause it does. So it's really accessible and it's forever accessible. So I hope they continue until the end of time.
Right, Maddie, who would you pick?
Oh gosh, I don't know. There's too many. Wade's pretty up there, and not just because we got to talk to him, but because there's several of his books that I read this year that I had not read before that I'm just in love with. You know, like man, I can't remember anything. But anyways, he's up there, and then I think Mariko Tamaki, that's her name, right? Mariko.
Yeah.
She's a big contender for me this year. Like everything that I've read from her this year has been really good. I mean, Supergirl being super is fantastic. It's wonderful. And it's such a nice, fresh take on that character that I don't think we would have gotten otherwise. And I think honestly, if you're talking about best books of 2018, that should be pretty high up there for a lot of people, I think. And yeah, those are the two I think of off the top of my head. So before that wedding issue in Heroes of Crisis, I would have said King, but not anymore. But yeah, I mean, other stuff I've read has been great. Like, again, I'm new to this, right? So like a lot of these writers I'm just discovering this year. So, you know, Solid and Ahmed, he's new, but like he's amazing, and I'm really loving what I read with Jeff Johns and Dan Jurgens and Azzarello. Like, I'm pretty happy with everything I'm picking up. So it's a ton for me. Maybe next year I'll have a better like idea of, oh, this writer is really standing out. Because right now I'm just like consuming everything I've missed out on for the past like all of my life.
Right. So Tamaki was actually also on my list as well. But I think like she's more on the side of like you know, more. I need a little bit more to read by her to kind of put her there. So my one, which is like I read everything by him this year, like, you know, all his work. I just went and read all his work this year. Was Hickman, Jonathan Hickman. So I started with his Marvel Avengers. I just picked that up. I actually had to read it because I was doing a show with Peter M. On his channel, and then, you know, kind of had to read it, and I fell in love with the way he writes everything. It's a little bit lyrical, and I know that you guys didn't quite jive with it as much as I did, but I kind of went and then read everything that he did in Marvel, everything he did externally, like, you know, for all his image stuff. The only two things I haven't read yet is Black Monday Murder. It's kind of one of those combination of those three words, and East of West, because neither of them has been finished. So I haven't read those yet, but otherwise I have read pretty much everything by him, and I just love it. Like, you know, love all his work. And the other one that I'm kind of, it was out of nowhere, and, you know, I just read only one of her work, Natasha Alterici for Heathen. I mean, I just read only 4 issues by her, and automatically she became my favorite. Like, now I would read everything that she ever writes because it was just such a wonderful tale. Once again, oh yeah, that's also another one ongoing because it's not finished yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's like the you know, those are the two that, you know, they just kind of became like, you know, I one, like, especially with Natasha, I just only one work, and I'm like, I love everything that you do. So yeah, so that was kind of would be my pick. So the next one would be favorite artist.
Favorite artist. This is it's a series I keep reading. It is ongoing. It probably should have been a runner-up actually for the ongoing series. But Fince, Johanna the Mad, which is art for Fince. I know, Maddie, you like her a lot. It's the way she expresses just facial facial expressions. It's so unique, and I really fell in love with it throughout reading Fence, and I still love Fence. But her art really helps make it, and it has that nice blend of like, there's clearly some Japanese inspiration that she's bringing to Western comics, and it's really fun. So I really kept I just kept enjoying her art, so I would go with her.
Joelle
Maddie?
Jones.
Oh, me too! Oh my god!
Absolutely. No one even comes close to Joelle Jones for me as far as artwork goes. Like, nothing. Everything she does is amazing. Like, I love her so much. She's the best. And there's other great artists too, but I mean, if you say, oh, who's a great artist in comics? Joelle Jones. Drop the mic. That's it.
No, I agree 100%. So since you picked Joella Jones, I'm gonna say my runner-up, Becky Cloonan. Like, so because I actually read her Punisher run this year, and that was like, that was very good. But her art, like, I follow her on Instagram, and as soon as she put out her sketchbook, I had to have it. It's just so good. Like, she does this fantasy characters that she keeps on drawing are just, she does it so well. And I don't know why she's like, I want her to do a fantasy series with Image or anyone that would be like, and she's writing and drawing it, because I know she can do it. I read By Chance and Providence, like 3 very short issues. I should have picked that from my OGN, but that's okay. That's also like, it's done so well, black and white, but it just, everything is so expressive, and oh my god, I love it. Like, I love her work so much. But yeah, so Becky Cloonan for me.
So I know we didn't have this on our list, but do we also want to talk about favorite cover artists?
Go for it.
Okay, so Jenny Frison, obviously, my top. But my second, though, and I have, oh man, let me grab it. So besides Jenny Frison, my other favorite cover artist, and he's been doing other art as well. I'm never gonna say his name right. Stefan
Sledzik.
Yes. And I've been saying.
Sorry, you guys, this is being obnoxious. I've got to buy a new headset. So, if I move away and it falls out, it just like, that's it. But he's been doing a lot more work, which has made me really happy. Like this Justice League cover I picked up. I only buy floppies for really cool covers. I mean, his art's amazing. And then also all the kind of like personal work he's been doing, like with the Wonder Woman Lara Croft crossovers, are so much fun. And I love the way he draws women. I just absolutely love it. Like, no one draws Wonder Woman or Donna Troy like he does, honestly. Like, real muscles, really cool looking. Everyone's faces are beautiful. And I hate him too, but just because I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled by Jenny Frison and Stefan. Like, it's just, those are the covers I want.
I would love that cover as an art print. That looks really cool. So, Kristan, do you have a pick?
Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I cannot remember his name though, but the guy who does all these painted Buffy covers, they're always amazing, and I love this one especially. But I can't think of his name. Do you remember his name, Maddie?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Well, this guy. I believe it's a guy.
Okay, guy who does those painted Buffy covers. That's Kristen's favorite guy of the year.
Maybe
anyway.
Chat knows.
So I usually don't look at covers that much or care for it. I don't have a favorite. Like I said that, if we really want to go like, fancy looking, like, cute ones, Scotty Young's always does really cool and funny ones. It's got like really hilarious, but those are more like variants that he does. I really like the one that he did for Mr. and Mrs. X. That was so cute.
Oh yeah, so cute.
I know. So otherwise, like,
it's Stephanie Hans.
Oh really?
Look at
For
you.
some reason, I think I had the writer's name in mind. The guy who does the scripts, Chris does. Oh. Okay, cool. Well, she's awesome.
I did met Stephanie Hans at the NYCC. She's very German.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, I mean, you know, that with the German accent and everything. But anyway, all right. So that was our cover. So I think with that, we can move on to more of a like a little bit different kind of categories. So the first one that we have was favorite spine of the year.
Yeah.
So show me your spine.
You guys don't like that?
I know,
that was totally me who made this one up. But I love these Buffy season 10 library spines. Can we
They're
even?
so nice.
They're so good. I love the little bit of art, and just great. They're all great. If you can see these, they're all great.
Awesome. So,
Am I the only one who nerds out about spines? Come on.
No.
Honestly, that's my favorite too. Like the Buffy series really pulls those together.
Yeah, they're all good.
So much better than DC. If you can see on my shelf, the black sheet of the Rebirth.
I've heard of this. Yes.
Right here. You know what?
It's pretty annoying.
Like, never mind. We know you won this book. Here you go. You have it. The cover, beautiful. But bam, does not match anything. Okay.
Oh, if you want to talk about those, I actually showed this and then I cried about it. But if you can see, these are both of these from a distance. What are you gonna say? Oh, these are independent things. No, they're like the series of each other. Black Panther 1 and 2, or the other way around. But look at them. What is this? Why? Why would you do that? That's because of that. Not
these
my
are the
favorite.
least favorite spines of the year. Yeah.
Least favorite spine. So my most favorite spine, and I don't know if I can get it without shoving this guy aside. All right, guys, you can seriously put me in a predicament over there. But my favorite spine, and this is actually also like, you know, a book that I've been kind of looking forward to, and I'm so glad that this happened, was like Batman by Jeff Loeb and Team Cell. So the reason this is my favorite, because look at this. This is like the, you know, the bat signal on the side.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, I really liked it because
That's
of
really
that.
good.
I was like, oh, how innovative. Like, you know, like it's like a Batman and then bam, the spine on the side. So yeah, I did not look at spine, but since you put that category, Kristan, I actually looked at spines. Then I'm like, whoa, spines.
And then yeah. And then you're annoyed because Green Arrow is apparently, or whoever, was blue.
Oh yeah, but
they matter. They totally matter.
I didn't buy that, but the thing is like, yeah, but then I looked at that, I'm like, I feel like DC does spines better than Marvel. Marvel's is very generic. Like, you know, it's like kind of...
All the like omnibus spines are really, really cool looking. Like, they don't match as well as Marvel, because Marvel has a nice, like, that red strip at the top.
Yeah.
But my, like, DC Comics omnibuses, they all look very neat and very unique and different.
Yeah, but Marvel's doing this new thing though, like this like little banner that they put, like little character thing that they put over here.
Yeah,
you know, that's
cute,
like, especially for those thick trades and stuff. But yeah, so all right, so that's like favorite spine. The next one was the favorite, the most good looking hardcover.
Yeah, I already have this out, and this is it. Buffy Season 10 Library Editions. Because, one, great spine, but also I love every single cover, and I love what's underneath the cover, because there's always great art underneath it, much like, you know, you get with the Marvel hardcovers and stuff. But these are always so gorgeous, and they've been gorgeous since Season 8, and I'm sad they're ending. But that would be my favorite. Also, you gotta love a good ribbon, guys. Comes with a ribbon. Come on.
Oh yeah, I love ribbons. Like DC should get on that. They
both should.
You know,
$100 price tag for a book. You're not giving a ribbon, guys. What is happening?
Yeah, exactly.
This was like $35. Come on.
Right. What's your favorite?
Okay.
Maddie?
So Omar got this for me for Christmas. The Super Sons.
Ooh.
Look how cute this is. Like,
I have to say that spine design's not great though.
the spine's not great, but honestly,
not great. But the rest of it is cute. I agree.
So cute and so colorful. Again, I love what DC is doing with these new omnibus releases, because also my Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 1 omnibus for New 52 is just as pretty and colorful, and I love it. It's great. It looks so nice on my shelf.
So I love that Super Sun did this. like in the back. The backboard, they put that little thing over there. I actually saw that. I wasn't really thinking about getting the omnibus. I'm like, preteens up to no.
No. It's so heartwarming and wonderful.
So here's the thing, guys.
I'm just kidding.
You know what's funny? We all have this omnibus. We should do a read through. Because I totally got it. I totally got it, guys.
Oh my god.
You guys made an impression on me, and I was like, I'll get it. And I got it.
Yeah. I'm completely kidding about like preteens. I really, because I was kind of thinking like, oh, maybe I'm just gonna get the trade, but then I'm like, why?
No.
Yeah, but when I saw that backboard, I'm like, I'm getting this.
It's so good.
It's just so cute. But yes, we're definitely doing a read through of that. Super Sans Omnibus.
Okay.
Yeah. But my favorite one, and it's actually over there, but I can't. I mean, it's something that I've been looking forward to for my entire life, even though I only found out about it last year, but I've been looking forward to my entire life, was Absolute Transmetropolitan.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I say last year, I mean 2017.
Beautiful.
Right. So I was dying because for a second I thought that this is not gonna do like the third Absolute, so I didn't buy the first two, but then they did, and I bought all three. Oh my god, that was like the hardcover. Is like, I do not like Absolutes, but that and Sandman, I gotta have it in Absolutes. And but my runner-up, and this is something that we accidentally found out because Kristan made me take the dust cover off it. It's actually the Doctor Strange, by Jason Aaron, the hardcover, the second one, and it did come out this year, and I actually read it, and it's fantastic. But look at this wraparound cover, like this is just amazing. And by the way, while we're at it, I'm gonna say this is probably the best, best length for me when it comes to hardcover. Like DC Rebirth Deluxe, and then Marvel, this oversized hardcovers. The images are like this. I could never read that Final Crisis or Infinite Crisis.
Oh gosh,
that shit that is. Like,
yeah, I've got it. It's huge.
Like, no, seriously, I'm like, there's no way I can read this without sitting all the time, because I'm not gonna sit all the time. So I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna have to pirate it because I already paid for it, but I can't read it. So I'll have to find different ways of reading it. Because what? I'm gonna lie down and it's gonna be on top of me and kill me? Say that again?
I said some of them are just too big.
Oh my god.
We can all be like, ooh, so many pages, but like so many pages.
And the thing is, those are thick pages too. It's not that it's not the page count, but it's just the weight of it. I'm not gonna have that weight over me. But oh well, it's okay. It's gonna be fine. But yeah, so that's like the other one. I'm actually kind of looking forward to reading that.
Something we didn't mention, but we should have, and I didn't think about it. Gem and the Holograms.
Ooh, yeah.
Is really one of the nicest hardcovers. I mean, maybe it's not as artwork impressive, but as far as feeling a book and how cool it is, and the indents and the bookmark in there and everything.
The actual
book just because of how cool it feels.
Yeah, it actually just it's really practical. Like we were discussing during that episode, it lays flat open. I think better than any hardcover I've ever owned. Like it is just the perfect amount of, I guess, the
flappiness.
Yeah, the flappiness. It's great.
So yeah, speaking of that, I still haven't read Gem on the Hologram.
Girl, I don't think you ever will.
No, but I should. I have the book, so I'll have to. But I haven't read it, and I don't think I still have shipped it out yet. I'm so sorry for the winners of that. So I have to correct that soon. I'm sorry. Please apologies from my side. But anyway, so after that, let's move on to a little bit more funner ones. Favorite tearjerkers of 2018. So I don't know if it's a favorite or I guess one that stick with you.
One that hurts you real good.
Yeah.
I went with one that hurt me real good. And my favorite tearjerker, I guess, I assume it was supposed to be Moment, but I went with every single thing that was in Hey Wait by Jason.
Yo.
Because the whole thing hurt. And the moment that really hurt, but it continued to hurt. And that was probably the one that really
Yeah,
hit me.
you told me to read it, then I went and read it. And then I'm like, what
I
is
told you if you want to cry, you can read it.
Yeah, no, I didn't cry because it just left me hollow. Like, there are some that just
Yeah,
doesn't
it
make you
hurt.
cry. But I'm like, yo, why is Kristan reading? Is Kristan okay? Kristan, are you okay? Why are you reading these things?
I was actually reading it because of Kyle, but anyway.
Yeah.
Kyle Starks loves Jason, and I was like, oh, I should read this. And then I was like, why did I read this? This hurt me.
It was pretty intense. The other time I felt that way was when I read Mouse. Like,
yeah, it hurts.
That one was like.
I guess actual tearjerker Wrinkles would have been better because I think I did cry during that, and it's so like that will make you cry. Yeah,
everyone cried for Wrinkles. Maddie, what's your? I know you never cry, so what's your?
Yeah, never ever. No, I cry all the time. I'm trying to think of like which ones really stood out to me and really, really got me. Because I cry for a lot of reasons. I can cry because I think something's really touching, or I can cry because it's sad, or just anything really. So it's hard. I'm sure there's some other ones that really got me this year, but the two that stick out to me right away. Red Sonja by Gail Simone Volume 3 really got me. There's a scene in there. It's very touching. It feels very anime, where like all of her friends are there for her, and I like lost it. But my biggest tearjerker for me this year was Red and the Outlaws Annual Number 2. It's a single issue where Roy Harper goes to hang out with Jason Todd, and they used to be in the comic together in the New 52, and it's basically a big send off before Hero.
Wait, they were a couple?
No. Just I mean, the internet doesn't think so. But Roy Harper goes to hang out with Jason Todd before he goes to the event that's Heroes in Crisis. It was very touching, and I'm a big fan of them. So I read it in the car. I wasn't driving, so I got the book and I sat in the car and I just gross sobbed all the way home about how touched I was by their friendship, and it was great. I didn't cry in Heroes in Crisis, but I did cry when I read that annual.
All right. So my favorite, contrary to popular belief, I do cry. And so my one was like, both of them was kind of like, I don't think they were intentionally supposed to cry, but I was just so overwhelmed by the relationship of two female characters that, so one of them was in Bad Girl by Brian Q. Miller. That was like the original time when Stephanie Brown became Batgirl. So the whole time, Barbara Gordon, who was at that time was Oracle, we had a very heart-to-heart discussion about this, Maddie and I, this weekend, about my feelings about Oracle in Earth. But anyway, so she was still Oracle, and Stephanie Brown was kind of like, put on the Batgirl costume because Cassandra Cain left it. And she was like, and then she's like, no, you're not going to be doing this because weird things, like, very bad things happen to people who pick up the mantle and all that. But then, Stephanie proves herself. And then she's like, there's this one scene. I think I'm going to start crying. Because she's like, she was in the wheelchair. And then she says that, this is my promise to you that as long as you don't, I will help you with becoming Batgirl. Because you want to, and I know you can do it, and you are just so awesome. You will do awesome and all that. Because Bruce was there for me when I needed, and then now I'm gonna be there for you. I can't, you guys. It was so good. I was like sobbing, and then I'm like, this is the best thing ever. It was just so amazing. I think it's like issue. I have to remember which issue is it, but I think it's Brian Q. Miller's Stephanie Brown run, like Batgirl run. It was just amazing. And the other one, which was also something that I don't think you were meant to cry, but it's when Unstoppable Wasp, when she picks her last name as Van Dyne.
Oh gosh, I forgot all about that.
Oh my god,
that was good.
I cried the whole time. Anytime the original Wasp was there and talked about anything, I was just like.
So God. Issue 7 and 8, because there was this whole scene where the whole Hank Pym hitting Janet that comes about, and her name is Natalia. Is her name? Her name is Natalia, right? Like Unstoppable Wasp. But anyway, Natalia or Natasha, one of the. It's a Russian name. So she finds out about this incident, and then she has this whole moment where she's watching a video of Hank, and she's like, I don't see it. I don't see that person who could do that. And then Janet actually sits her down and then have a very adult discussion. That was like the best stepdaughter, stepmom representation ever. Like, typically stepmom is the evil stepmom, but oh my God. And then the next issue, she's like, oh, I have to pick a name. I don't have a last name. Is it okay if I pick Van Dyne? I just put the book next and I was like, in a thing, I was crying. I just like, oh, I love it. Like, it's just like, when two female characters are like, show respect and love for each other. I can't. I love that so much. It's just so awesome. So yeah, those are two of my tearjerker. But anyway.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So the next one is the favorite opposite side of tears, funny moments. So
favorite funny moment. My honorable mention would be one I recently mentioned and read called Breaking Cat News, because it is nonstop cat shenanigans. The whole thing was funny. It's really fun, and anybody should read it if they want to have fun. Anyway, my favorite funny moment would be everything in, where did I put it? Here we go. Madame Cat. Right. So all the cat books I think are fantastic, but this was really, really fun, and there were tons of funny moments, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I as soon as I put that category in, I'm like, Kristan gonna pick that.
You nailed it.
What about you, Maddie?
I guess everything in Lumberjanes, because I read all of that this year, and I mean it's just nonstop funny for me. And probably also actually. Maybe the funniest thing I read this year was that scene with the man covered in cats and Kim Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
That was good. Pretty great and pretty hilarious. I still think of that from time to time. Like, that's when I think about Kim Reaper, that's what stands out to me, is that dumb scene.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of Kim Reaper, but that got in. I laughed. I laughed at that scene.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that was so hilarious and so like out of character as well. So I like that too. For me, my favorite funny moments. It's pretty much like I think the whole Astonishing Ant-Man, like like by Nick Spencer. So that complete collection came out this year. And that also has a very good spine because it has actually little ants just going up the spine.
Cute.
Yeah,
Love it.
So that has a pretty good spine in there too. It's right over there. I can get to it, but that one was hilarious. Like I know that Kristan, you got the superior photos of Spider-Man. Yeah, I think you're gonna love it. Like it's so funny. And the other one was in Garth Ennis's Hitman. So even though it didn't come out this year, I read it this year. So they want to get Catwoman's attention, and they're like, "So how are we gonna do it?" So then they find, one of the floodlight and put a dead cat on it.
Oh no, that makes me sad.
No, the cat was already dead. They found a dead cat, and then they're like, "Well, it's in Gotham. There are dead cats everywhere." So then they take the cat, and then they put the cat on the floodlight.
Is that canon? They just find dead Gotham. I shouldn't read DC if that's the case. I can't do that.
No, I mean, okay, Gotham has dead people in the alleyway. Cats are the least of their problems. Okay? So,
I can deal with dead people in the alleys. That's fine.
Right. So he's like, what are we gonna do? Like, we need to find it. And then he's like, well, no, don't worry, she's gonna come. And then he turns the lights on. And then the next page, it's like, the whole spotlight. And then there's a cat. I thought it was the funniest thing. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah. So that was a funny one for me. All right. The other one was the badass bitch of the year.
Oh yeah. I picked someone from Giant Days.
No.
Where is she? Here she is. Susan, because she is awesome and consistently badass. Susan from Giant Days.
I think like Susan's my, the one character that I connect to. Everything that Susan says, I'm like, mm-hmm. Like,
She's
like, especially all the things that she goes through with her, like, the guy she likes, but she doesn't want to admit it that she likes him and everything like that. And I'm like, mm-hmm. Like, she's amazing. Yeah.
She's great.
What's your pick, Patty?
Red Sonja.
Oh. Okay. I was gonna say Donna.
I'm surprised.
Well, Donna Troy's always there, but I think we think a good badass bitch. Donna's taking a back seat a lot this year, so I'm hoping they'll bring her up to do more stuff next year. But I think Red Sonja, and then I want to say Mockingbird because I really got into her this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say Mockingbird.
Nice. So my pick are actually what I consider to, in my head, they're canon, and I don't care what anyone else says. Black Widow and Velvet Templeton. Like, to me, in my head, Black Widow grows old and become Velvet. They have to, because it's the same character, So Velvet is written by Ed Brubaker, and Black Widow is Black Widow. So this year I read a lot of Black Widow runs, and I also read Velvet. And to me, they're just the most kick-ass ladies ever. Like, to me, when I see kick-ass ladies, like, yeah, obviously there's like, different shades of kick-ass ladies, but to me, the ultimate kick-assery is like, they're just like, whatever, bim, bam, boom. They wouldn't even look and they will shoot and, people will die. Just like, I love those characters so much. And they're just so effortlessly sexy. Like, these are the characters that I expect them to just walk around nude all the time and then pull pistols out of nowhere and then shoot people. And,
that'd be weird.
You know what? If they do it, and they're like, nope, that's not weird. I'm weird for wearing clothes. They're not weird. I'm just saying, like, it just, you read Velvet, right?
No, actually, I haven't. I took it from my dad. He's probably watching this and mad. I'm going to read it soon.
Oh my God, you have to read Velvet. Like, Velvet.
I'm write that down.
Yeah, that one. And, so that's like, those are two my badass bitches. So good. So good. If they come and they're like, hand over everything you have, I'm like, sure, here you go. Like, I wouldn't mess up with them.
Take it all.
All right. So the other one is next one is the favorite couple.
Favorite couple, also Susan and McGraw. Because I love because it's so, the way they start out, and I won't spoil anything, but they're fabulous and perfect, and it's great.
Have they gotten married? Please tell yes.
Do you want me to spoil it?
It's not the spoiling because it's less slice of life.
Spoiling. They're wonderful. That's all you have to know. They're wonderful.
Oh, all right. Okay. What you got, Maddie?
Donna Troy, Roy Harper.
Oh my God, no.
But I mean that's like my favorite forever couple, so it's not fair for me to bring up.
No.
I feel like there's definitely some, but I just can't think about it. I really fell in love with Lois and Superman this year. I didn't think that I would because I didn't care about them. So that's been nice.
Wow, you people are so un-oak. I picked Midnighter and Apple. So
nice.
I'm just joking. Your favorite is your favorite. I don't care. So this year I read like Midnighter, all of Midnighter solo stuff. I've known them since like I'm an author. I have full authority on Authority. I read everything of that group from the Warren Ellis or Stormwatch time. So they were always been my favorite. But in New 52, they kind of differentiated a little bit, like as with everyone else. So their origin story changed a little bit, and they were not together. But then they get together, and then there's a mini series of Midnighter and Apollo. It's like a super sexy. I just loved everything about it. It's similar to Rogue and Gambit, but it's more, them like, Apollo's soul is going to hell, and Midnighter actually went to hell to get it back. And
wow.
So all of that happens. And at the very end, it ends with like, they're like, oh, what do you want to do? And it's like, they just head to the bedroom. And it's like, I want to see what happens at the end behind the scenes. So So that was like my big gay romance that I just loved. And they didn't bring them back in Rebirth. I could not believe it. Like why? Why not? If it was Marvel, there would be like 10 different miniseries of them. But because it's DC, they're not there. They're dead.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even incorporate them anywhere. Like they're just so bad. But anyway. All right. Then the next one, I had it because it's important. Favorite beard of 2018?
Klaus.
Oh, great.
Obviously, Klaus. No question.
Yes, Klaus.
Maybe, yeah, Klaus. Hyperion had a beard too.
I'll go with that.
We'll go in there. I'll put him in there.
Oh, who?
Hyperion?
Oh, yeah.
He's good, right? He's a pretty good beard.
Yeah, everyone in Avengers after like... everyone in Avengers after the Infinity got depression beard. Every one of them got it. Like seriously, think about it.
More beards. Thank you.
Yeah, every one of them got beards. Like even Captain Marvel got beards. That was weird.
Yeah, like in DC, they don't let anyone keep a beard ever. It's
They're
like
anti-beard too? What's wrong with DC?
I'm like, what the hell? Quit this. Like,
why they hate fun? What's wrong with them?
Like when the new Clark Kent came in, he's like, "Well, I'm gonna be Superman now. I guess I need to shave." I was like, "What are you doing?" No.
Well, then how are you gonna differentiate between Clark Kent and Superman? They painted themselves in the corner there, didn't they?
Whatever. I'm so mad.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Marvel, we have bearded men. Come to Marvel. That's what I keep on telling people. But Kristan, what's your pick? McGraw.
You know what? I didn't even think of McGraw. So yes, it's gonna be McGraw. He has a great beard. I wonder if I can find it in time. I can't.
No, he has a mustache. He doesn't have
It's
a beard.
good. He doesn't have a beard. You're right. He's just got a mustache. I was trying to think of anyone with a beard and I couldn't. So I think Claus is a good one. That's a good one. I have it right here. That's a good one.
I mean, the amount of sexy Santa dreams I had after reading Claus was disgusting.
Hey.
It shouldn't happen. But you know who my pick gonna be?
No, we don't. We have no idea.
That guy.
Everyone's saying that you and Chris Evans are their favorite couple.
Oh, guys.
Couple of the year, Fariha and Chris Evans, and Philip said Cardboard Chris, or did she actually kidnap him this time?
You guys.
Thank you, here in the basement.
Hey, who's saying the basement? Like, shut up about the basement. It's not the real thing. I don't want people to come here. There's no basement here.
We don't need the authorities to knock on your door.
Shut up. But the thing is, like, yeah, that guy he had the perfect, like, I mean, he's so strong. Thanos' snap only took his beard. Can you believe it? Because his beard was half of him. That's what's up. Like,
that's sad too.
Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I still have to hold sigil and everything for his beard going away. All right, now let's move on to something more negative.
Yeah.
Least favorite of 2018. What did we hate in 2018?
We're gonna do disappointing as well, right?
Right. So there's the favorite is like
put those together, honestly.
Least favorite is something like we just didn't like it, and most disappointing was like it was hyped up, but when we read it, we didn't like it. So when I say we, I mean So
yeah,
it's also other way of saying it. Why does other people like it? Like, what's wrong with other people?
Sure. I'd say my least favorite. I have an honorable mention for this one, which is My Boyfriend is a Bear. I saw the art. I thought cute things. I really, I read some good reviews. No, it was too creepy for me. Really creeped me out. At first, I was like, oh, it's kind of cute. And then I was like, no, it's creepy. It's creepy.
I still want to read it.
You should read it. Maybe you'll enjoy it. But, there were just too many, like that time of the month, the bear smells that. Some stuff that just made me go, no. So, no, didn't like that.
Oh, you shouldn't read Fables then.
Is there a lot of that?
No, Fables, Goldilocks is married to the baby bear.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then, so this is when I stopped, because there's one panel.
Weird, right?
No, there's one panel is like, oh, do you think I married your son because of his hung manhood? I'm like, nope, pass, out. I'm not reading it.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like
I'm
that
like,
at all.
nope, not reading it. I'm
That's
watching.
not good.
I'm watching Once Upon a Time instead, and they're getting the exact same story. So shut the fuck up. So yeah, no Fables. But
Yeah,
anyway,
That's
all
not
right.
good. So my ultimate least favorite read though would be 12 Reasons Why I Love Her. This came out years ago, I'm sure. You guys have already heard my thoughts on this. And you know why I picked it. So nope.
Oh, you have
I
to
hate
give
that I own
12
that.
reasons you hate it.
I could list 12. Do you want me to?
Chapter 1, chapter 2.
Chapter 3. Yep. The whole thing.
All right. Maddie, what's your least favorite? Yeah, I know you like everything.
Yeah, I like a lot of stuff.
Everything
I'm
crisis.
okay. But if I say this, it's gonna start a fight.
No, say it.
We should fight.
The more I think about this book, the more I think about how I just didn't like it. And
Yeah.
I did not like Hick Avengers.
What? Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
did
Delete.
not.
I'm
like
kicking
it
you
more.
out of this channel.
I
Love
like
it.
things. I like some things in the book, but honestly, like it was not for me.
Same.
I don't want that to be the case. Like I
Yeah.
don't, but I just don't care. I didn't like it.
I'm with you. I'm with you here, girl. I got you.
And I think that was my like when I think about stuff I've read this year and stuff that just wasn't for me.
But is it most like your least favorite or more disappointing that you hear great things, you didn't like it?
I'd say that one's disappointing.
It's the least favorite for me because I didn't have any
Okay.
expectations going in, and
Uh-huh.
there's other books that are disappointing more so than just I just didn't like it.
What's wrong with you people? I don't even
wish I
know.
did. I love Namor in that, so I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, there were parts I liked for
Yeah.
sure. We've been through it, but you know.
But then you liked it. Like I don't understand. When I say least favorite, I mean you like nothing about it.
No, I like a lot of things.
Okay.
There's nothing I read this year that was like, this is the dumbest shit ever. But my least favorite is absolutely Hick Avengers that I read this year.
Oh, so sad.
I know. I wish it was different.
I think again, I stand by. I would have enjoyed that more if I would have had more background to that whole everything that was happening. But maybe not. I don't know.
No,
But
I mean, it's possible because I read everything, like all the other Avengers event leading up to it before
Yeah, so-
reading that.
It felt like I wasn't invested because like the actual, that whole event, there's no character development really. I mean, you don't get to like learn about anyone. It's just that big event that's happening,
Yeah, well, and that's his thing. Like he doesn't do characters. What characters? Go read other books by the characters. This
Well,
is an event.
Maybe that's
like,
my problem with it. Yeah.
No. It's a very fair criticism of it, and everyone it's like he's not waiting for you to catch up to characters. You should learn about characters elsewhere. This is supposed to be the event that's happening, and he doesn't. But compared to that, like Fantastic Four, completely different. It's like his Fantastic Four is all about the characters, and then an event is happening at the background.
I'll probably like that one more, but
Yeah. No, I and a lot of other people say it too. But the thing is, like, yeah, I knew everything about these characters.
I love Secret Wars.
Huh?
I love that like event that happened at the end. Was it not?
Secret
It's not
Wars.
Secret Wars. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
I love that. I hate that.
That's interesting.
Anyways, what is your least favorite this year?
Oh my god. Okay. Well. I now that you guys mentioned Hick Avenger, I don't feel bad about it. But fucking King Ripper was so bad. Like, I could not. I could not deal with that shit. So anytime this happens in a straight relationship, I want to tear the page. I want to destroy TV. But anytime someone comes into a relationship that they had no business being in their first place, but they are here, then question another person's job, I cannot deal with that. This is like one of my ultimate pet peeve. And that's the exact shit that happens in there. Oh, I could not. I couldn't deal with it. Anyway, now I don't feel much bad about it. Because I was going to be like, yo, guys, I'm really sorry. But no, I don't feel bad about it now.
You like what you like. I get it.
I mean, I could not. That was one. And the other one was Sabrina. Oh, my God.
Oh my god, yeah. You know what? That book sucks.
Thank you.
I think I dislike Sabrina more than I dislike Hick Avengers. That book was garbage.
No, hang on. Which Sabrina are you talking about? Are you talking about the Teenage Witch?
Oh, whoops, sorry. You guys talking about Sabrina. I was talking about the chilling adventures of Sabrina.
No.
That was also garbage. You're right.
Yeah, I didn't read that because when two of you said that it was garbage, Gio said it was garbage. I'm like, oh my god, that truly is garbage.
The show is amazing. The show's wonderful. The book is garbage.
Yeah, the show is good.
Yeah, but I watched the show. I'm like, it's okay. It's just like not my thing. Like it wasn't. It was one of those things. Like I completely understand what they're going for, just not my thing. But anyway, no, I'm talking about Sabrina by Nick DiSarno.
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, I wanted to take the pages off and then use them as toilet paper. That's what I wanted to do. No, that book has no business existing. That book has no business. And typically, I'm someone, if you like something I don't, I'm like, sure, difference of opinion. I don't care. Like, you disliked something I like or vice versa. If you like that book, what's wrong with you? Re-examine your life. Re-examine everything that you have done. Like, every decision you have made, re-examine that because something's not right. Something's really not right. Oh my God, I hated that book. My God, I hated that book. And I cannot forget that book. Oh my God. I'm done.
I've been tempted to read it just because of you saying all of that. Like, it's at my library, and I'm like, is it worth my time just to know what she hates so much about this?
But seriously, Kristan, if you like that book, keep it to yourself. Like, because I do not think
that causes a script between our group.
Yeah, I do not think that.
I just won't pick it up then. It's totally fine. I won't even touch it.
Like, we cannot be friends after that.
But I would love to hate review it. I would hope that I would dislike it as much as you do.
I don't know. What if you like it? Now
I know now. I'm afraid. I'm not going to do it. It's fine. I'll never read it. It's not worth it.
It's
not worth it.
What if Chris Evans liked this book?
Oh no.
It will be the end. It will be the end of it all. I mean, I actually read that book thinking that, thank God, none of my sisters or my parents read comic books. Because if they read it and they loved it, I would have to disown them. I have to take them out of my will. It's that bad. It's that bad. Oh my God, you guys. No, it's not good. It's not good at all. What is this even? What is this? Why this book exists? Okay, so most disappointing. I'm disappointed in both of you for not liking Avengers, but what else is disappointed this year?
I'd say most disappointing.
By the way, I'm joking.
Oh, we know.
I completely understand. It's one of those things when you love something, you also know why people would hate it. I understand where you guys are at. I got you. But anyway, don't like Sabrina. By Nick DiSarno. But anyway, yeah.
My most disappointing, I picked because Fariha and I were entranced by the cover and we decided to get it, and it was not good. That's Crystal Fighters. Look at how shiny and lovely the cover is. Ooh, don't read this.
I would have picked it up too.
I know, but don't do it. Yeah.
That was judging a book by its cover.
It really was.
That was that.
Usually that works. That usually tends to work for me personally, but this one did not work. It was pretty much a non-story. Free and I kind of agreed on this. We're just nothing really happened. And what did happen? We just kind of rolled our eyes the whole time. And it was why? So now I have this thing for no reason. What am I going to do with this?
We can do a giveaway.
Donate it. I may donate it. Because nobody watching wants to read this. That's the thing. I don't think anyone watching wants to read this.
I think it's very. It's for kids. It's a kid's book. It's not for us, the 80-year-old ladies.
Well, and here's the thing. I said this too. I've read a lot of kid-specific graphic novels that I've really enjoyed, and I think it goes beyond just a kid. Cartoons are and things like that. But this really was just for a very specific young audience, and it may only appeal to them because there's not really character development and there's not really a story, and what is kind of just really cliche.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing. Go for it. Sorry.
That was it.
No, the funniest thing was you gave it 3 stars at first.
I did.
I was like, oh, wow, you gave it 3 star. I gave it 1 star. And then you were like, you know what? Hang on. Went back and gave it
I did. That's true. I had this moment where I was like, you know, it wasn't that bad. Like, it was fine. Like, whatever. And then I just sat there and I was at work and I thought about it and I was just like, hold on, no. No. And you know, and then I had to think about it and I went back and I was like, that wasn't 3 stars, that was 1 star. And then I got really mad about it.
Yeah, then we were like, you know, kind of chatting and I was like, wow, you gave it 3 stars. So, and then we started talking about the 12 reasons. I'm like, you gave it 1 star. I'm like, can you believe that? Because that means I would give it -2 stars because, you know, we were just adjusting our star system. And then you're like, wait, why do you say that? I'm like, you know, you gave Crystal Fire a 3 star. And she's like, hold up.
I think I was in a sleepy haze at the time. And I was like, this was fine. It's fine. And then I was like, no, it's not.
Right. So what about you, Maddie? What was most disappointing? Batman.
I think we all know, but I'll say it again. Batman number 50.
I knew it.
And I tried to blame Tom King, although I did at the time. There's a lot of angry voice messages from me because I think his DC is actually no. You know what? No, screw that. I do blame Tom King. I blame Tom King and I blame DC because it's stupid. Batman can't be happy or else he can't be Batman. That's stupid. It's lazy writing. It's lazy writing. You're unimaginative and you don't want to give us any new storylines. So no, it's stupid. Thanks. And I'm looking forward to that. I was gonna buy the wedding album. I was gonna make that dress. I would have loved that little like playlist they put together, but no, stupid. Other disappointment.
Batman 50.
Listen, you guys should know by now. Okay.
Why did it happen?
I didn't even say what happened. I just said it's stupid. And then somebody asked. Somebody was like, "I'm surprised Maddie hasn't brought up Heroes in Crisis yet." And I think Heroes in Crisis is pretty disappointing so far. I think they made some writing choices that are dumb. The art's beautiful.
Man, oh my God, you guys should read. You guys should read Gambit, but like by I don't know whoever.
I will.
I've wanted to, yeah.
He draws it. It's the sexiest thing ever. Oh.
But yeah, I'm still reading Heroes in Crisis as it comes out. So far, I think there were some bad choices made, and I'm just kind of bummed out about it because even though I knew that a horrible fate would befall my favorite character, I was still excited to see what would be done with it as someone who really cares about mental health and if someone who thinks that reading comics books is a great way to heal yourself, and talk about big issues. And just like that's not what's happening at all. And I don't know. King. But yeah, those are mine.
So my most disappointing read, and I don't know, it's and I know that my most disappointing is because of me. I'm not into those kind of shit. So, but the thing is, I kind of go with the flow and picked it up anyway. And then I realized, wait, that's not for you. Why did you do that to yourself? So, first one was James Robinson's Starman. It wasn't my thing. I hear a lot of great things, but it's not my thing. The way, and I said it in my review as well, the way Shakespeare and Beatles not my thing. I don't understand music. I don't understand Beatles music. I don't understand anyone's music for that matters. And that's okay. And the same way with this. It's like, oh my God, my father, I should be Starman. Okay. Like, be it. Like, no one's telling, what's with all this job? Like, no, stop having emotions about these things. I don't know. It wasn't my thing. And then also Invincible. That's also another one. I was just still waiting for something to happen. And then I looked at the issue number. I'm like, holy shit, it's issue 25 and nothing happened. Like, I was... Once again, and apparently something happens in issue 90. I'm like, I ain't waiting that. No, I have limited time on this life. Shut up. We're not doing this. So that's also another one. And the Valiant universe, I didn't understand the hype about that because every single character is a ripoff of a Marvel or a DC character. So I'm not sure what's the uniqueness of it is over there. Ivor and Time Walker, that's pretty good. I would give that. Ivor and Time Walker and Divinity, those two are very good. But everything else was kind of like, okay, I've seen this. There's nothing unique about it, you know. So I don't know. Like that was my. But you know, if someone says, "Oh, they love this thing," I completely understand why they're loving this thing. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, it's just me thing. I wasn't just. I didn't care for it. So yeah. Well, all right. Well, before we do our big two stuff, what's your looking forward to the most anticipated release of 2019? The book that is coming out in 2019 that you are most looking forward to?
Mine would be the Animal Man Omnibus by Jeff Lemire. I haven't read his run. I've heard really good things, and also it's the first Lemire Omnibus, so of course I'm going to get that. I'm really looking forward to it.
All right. I did not know there was an omnibus coming out.
It's happening. I don't know the date, but it's happening.
Okay. Yeah, I would pretty much I very much like that. So, have you read the Grant Morrison Animal Man?
I haven't. I've heard that's also great, but I have not.
It is pretty weird for, you know, like, you know, Grant Morrison style weird, but
sure.
I really, really liked the final issue. The final issue really got me. And then, you know, I have a newfound respect for Morrison. I'm like, he's self-aware. He's weird and he's self-aware weird, you know. So, yeah. All right. What about you, Maddie? You look concerned.
Well, I was trying to think of one, but I honestly couldn't. I don't think I know. I don't know if I guess I'm not up to date on like what's. I used to follow all the solicitations all the time to see what was coming out. I think for my own health to make sure I'm not like buying too much. I haven't been.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty excited for the Monstrous hardcover. I'm excited to get more Snot Girl. Usually I would say something DC related, but I have no idea where it's going.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe Justice League. Actually, Justice League Dark. I'm excited for that to be released because it's Wonder Woman's like the head of the team.
Oh, really?
With like a zany group of characters like Detective Chimp and who else is it?
Detective Chimp.
There's some other like weird members of the group, but it looks really funny and I'm excited to be in the group.
Who is it by?
I'm not sure actually.
So is it like a rebirth or before?
It's rebirth. So after this, they had a big event. Justice.
Yeah.
Following that, there was 3 new Justice League.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Yeah, and so everyone kind of got moved around to try something different. And so there's like Justice League Odyssey looks really good too, like with like Starfire as a member of that one. But Justice League Dark looks really, really neat. So I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, they have like 4 colors and all that jazz. Yeah, okay. So my most anticipated release is actually Absolute Day Tripper. My God, I'm so looking forward to it. It's one of my all-time favorites. I have the deluxe version, which I got signed by both of them, Gabriel Va and Fabio Moon, and I'm going to double dip it. That's like the first time I will, and so that's one that I'm really, really looking forward to. And obviously Monstrous, the hardcover, Saga hardcover, even though I'm up to date with the stories, it's more for having the hardcovers and stuff. So yeah, like Absolute Day Tripper and also Absolute Black Mirror. I'm kind of really looking forward to getting that. I loved that story. It was like very weird as hell, but you know, for a Batman story, it was really weird. But it's actually Dick Grayson as Batman. But the art over there was gorgeous. So those are the 2 that I'm really looking forward to, despite not liking Absolute format. I'm gonna buy this. All right. So the next one is most anticipated read, something that already out, but you are looking forward to reading it this year. Like, you know, something that you have been hearing about it, you've been putting on your list for a while, but this year you're like, nope, I'm gonna read this.
I'm actually gonna pick one thing. I have a few here. One thing that is coming out this year that I feel obligated to talk about, which is by my husband Reed. He wrote his first ever fiction graphic novel. He's going to kickstart it this year. It is called The B-Side. So look forward to me talking about that at some point. It's going to be really cool. You should check it out. Anyway, but I'm really looking forward to doing a Hellboy universe read through.
Ooh, I fully support this.
Thank you. I've been doing so much research. I've pretty much figured out that there's no way I can get everything because a lot of it's out of print. So what I've decided to do, because I'm going the paperback Omni route, I'm going to get all of that. And then the rest of it, I'm able to piece together through Comixology Unlimited and Hoopla. So if you guys are like, how am I going to do this? Like if you're also looking into it, the BPRD trades even are going out of print right now. So a lot of it is out of print. But I figured out how to do it. So you can do it and you can do it for cheap. So anybody wants to know, hit me up, I'll let you know. But yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to get into, finally, Maddie, One Piece.
Yay! So I'm so excited. Let me know if you have any trouble, because it's totally acceptable to skip forward and then go back.
I already have the first 23, so I'm like, I should probably just read those.
I have 23 out of how many?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
All right. Okay. Well, we're gonna check back 2020
Please do.
first episode to see how this goes. But yeah, I fully approve of the Hellboy, Mignolaverse, whatever, however you call it. But
I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah, if you need the reading order, I can help you with that. But it's kind of like all the deluxe version of it. But yeah, so that would be. I'm so jealous that you were jumping into it after in the first time. Oh my god. Maddie, what's yours?
Top of my list is actually reading through all the Buffy books I've been working to collect.
Right.
I've read a couple of 4 of the library editions for Buffy, but I haven't read everything. And so now that I'm finally getting it all together, I get to really sit down and read from the beginning to the end. And so I'm really excited about that. Just all in one go. Besides that, I'm not sure. I have a few things I want to reread. So I'm hoping to reread.
How do one reread?
Cosmic Marvel this year, and the first time I read through Monster, because I've watched it. So I'd like to read through Monster. Oh, and also I'm reading Infinite Crisis this year, so that's on my list of first time reading through.
Mm-hmm. So my first time. So I'm actually, I don't know if I could do it, but I'm gonna try. So what I'm thinking of doing is the first half of the year is going to be all Marvel, and the second half of the year it's going to be all DC. I don't know whether I can keep up with it, but let's just say I'll try. But whatever. And even if I don't, I would lie about it. Whatever. So you'll never know. But one of the ones that I really want to do is that Marvel Cosmic Saga. So Jess and I talked about it, and we're thinking of doing it one omnibus review a month. So I think that will take care of it. And then I actually want to read all these omnibuses that you're seeing behind me. A lot of them are read, but then there's a lot that are gaps that I haven't read. And also Hulk. I've decided that that's one character for some reason I connect to. I don't know why, but I connect to him. And I want to just do a lot of Hulk reads. So
I know why.
I want to read more Hulk too. After reading Planet Hulk,
what do you mean?
I was just blown away.
You know.
But anyway, there's something about the nerdy guy who has a lot of rage inside of him. There's something about it I connect to. Anyway, but I wanted to. But yeah, sorry, Maddie, you were saying something.
Oh no, I was saying that I love Hulk, and so I'd like to read more too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very interesting character. So I actually have a semi, similar to Kristan, I also have a semi-reading order kind of thing going on. And some of them I've already gathered up. A few I've already read. So there's some plans. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. And the second half of the year, I want to actually dedicate more towards DC. And then finally reading some Rebirth, because writers have left finally their titles. Thank you very much. So that means I can read them. So I'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll actually begin to like some of the DC people. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of what my goal, kind of anticipated read of 2019 is. We'll keep you updated how it's going. All right. So now is the finale. So first up, all-time favorite read of 2018. The one that's you were like, this actually broke your top 10, but you read it in 2018. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I think
Eh, I mean, top 10.
Maybe.
Top 20.
Maybe,
Let's
yeah.
see. Just
Yeah, my honorable mention for this, I actually read recently, and I told you both that you have to read it. I don't know if you'll love it, but Archival Quality by Ivy Noel Weir and Steens. I don't know, guys, but it was so good. I loved it. It's by Oni Press. It kind of blew me away, and I still think about it. And that's how I knew this had to be an honorable mention, because it stuck with me so long. It was unexpected. I'd never even heard of it, and I just happened to pick it up, and I was like, wow, what is this? I don't even know how to describe it, but there's a lot of mental health stuff. There's like a mystery, and there's ghosts, and it was just incredibly unique. I've never read anything like it, and I highly recommend it. So that's my honorable mention.
I actually ordered that because it showed up after I put Sheets as my read. So it's a recommended on, it showed up as a recommended of that. And then you mentioned it. Then I'm like,
nice.
Yes.
Nice. But my all-time favorite read of 2018 will probably be no surprise to anyone. That is On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. I loved it so much. The art blew me away. It was like the perfect length. I wanted to keep going. I would keep going in that same universe. And it still sticks with me. So it's one of those. I'm like, oh yeah, that was the one. What thing that I keep going back to, what really got me, and that was the one. So it's getting all the praise this year. It deserves it. Last year, I guess. But that's the one.
Mm-hmm. Maddie, what about yours?
I would say Rachel Rising.
Ooh.
It's a fantastic book, fantastic series. Artwork is amazing, and it feels like I'm watching any of my favorite female-led TV shows. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I can't believe there is not a TV show or animation of this.
It is wild. I mean, it's a natural pickup.
Like,
yeah,
this definitely
really
should get a Castlevania-esque, like, animation.
It should be a Netflix show, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Like HBO or CW. You should have picked this up by now. So.
Yeah.
Not CW. Have you seen it?
Well, it's not my first pick, but like this is something that if they saw this, like, yeah, we can do this. You know what I mean?
Netflix. But anyway, yeah. So my favorite read of 2018, because not only it became my favorite read of 2018, but it actually became my number one. So you guys can suck it. It's actually Hickman's Marvel.
We're not upset with you. I think that's great.
I'm just kidding,
Yeah,
guys. Now this is gonna be my new thing now. To tell you guys to
Just for that, I'm gonna read Sabrina.
Yeah. No, that's a no. That's out of bounds.
I'm not gonna do it. That's a joke.
I'm just kidding. But anyway, no, it's like a Hickman's entire Marvel work. I'm not talking about just Avengers, like from his Secret Warriors to all the way to Secret Wars. Everything that he done in the middle, I don't know. It's jived with me. I read it. I went on and read everything else by him, and it actually became my number one. It's a cheating because there's a lot of title in there, but I just loved that universe. I loved everything that he have done. There's so many things of it that kind of sticks with me. So yeah, that was my all-time favorite reads of 2018. So the other one, all-time favorite that was released in 2018, and you read it in 2018. That was the other category we had.
Yeah, I took this as like, what was my favorite, just generally a release that happened in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Buffy season 12 because it was the end of an era in every single way. And I think that alone made me be like, okay, yay, it's the end. It's here. That's sad, but it's just the end of an era. It's the end of many years collecting this. So that's what I went with.
But you guys are looking forward to Boom series?
Yeah.
When does this come out?
This month, the first issue.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to hear from you guys about it. All right.
I'm going to get it.
Okay. Maddie, what about you?
It's so hard to say. I don't know. I'll say Supergirl being super.
Perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my favorite release of this year was Snagglepuss. How do you say it? Snagglepuss. The art is atrocious, but the story. My God, the story. Like, it's by Mark Russell, and I mean, heavens to Murgatroyd, it was unbelievable because it's set in those time when it's not talked about a lot, during the Red Scare and during Lavender Scare, during the time when gay people were being persecuted for being gay, when Hollywood writers were being persecuted for being communist, or like, having, Russian tendencies, or I don't know. It's a part of like a dark history of America that's not being talked about. And they've actually connected with a character that you wouldn't think about, Snagglepuss by Hanna-Barbera, and how they kind of connects it together. And the end is actually his beginning in Hanna-Barbera cartoon. So it's canon now, as like, it's part of his history, and it's done so well by Mark Russell. His Flintstone run, I loved it. You should all read it as well. So that, and the other one that was already mentioned and we already talked about, Louisa Now and Then by Carol Moreau. Like,
yay!
I mean, I don't recall a book that connected with me as much as that one did, because I feel like I connected with young Louisa and also older Louisa. There's a lot of parallel with my own life to a certain degree. And I completely connected with it in a way that I didn't thought it was possible. Like, the whole idea of connecting with characters, this is what it meant. And I don't know, that was one that kind of really, really stuck with me. And our last category of the night was, why did I waited so long to read this shit?
Honorable mentions for me in this category was Rachel Rising, Bone, which I finally read and finished, loved it, and Alex and Ada, which I also really loved. I loved it. What took the top spot, though, would be Claws.
Yeah.
This is actually the new one, but I read the first one, too. I don't know why it took me so long, because it was so freaking good. I loved everything about it. And this one's great, too.
Oh, I still haven't read that one, but I have to.
Good.
No, it's kind of like, I just feel weird about reading about Hot Santa. It's just kind of weird. It's just weird. I mean,
I never felt that way. I was just like, he's badass Santa. Like,
oh, right. You thought that he was badass Santa.
I did. I'm not the one with the problem.
What about you, Maddie? What was your, I can't believe I waited this long.
No, again, I'm new, so it's like everything's new. Everything is like, can't believe we waited this long. Like,
that's fair.
That's everything.
Right. So for me, it was actually, let's see, where did I put that to share? Oh, so Black Sad. That was my one that I'm like, why did I waited this long? It's actually anthropomorphic animals in America at different stage of America's history. And it's a Black Sad is a black cat. Or I think he's a panther. But anyway, so he goes around and solves crime, but he's an anthropomorphic animal. And then all the animals have their own personality. So it's kind of like a Zootopia, but darker. Like, so much darker. So yeah, that's one that I'm like, why did I waited this long? And then also Grail's Green Arrow, we talked about. Hellboy, the other one that, because I recently finished it. Well, I actually started in 2016, but, it took me 2 years to finish this. Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, I recommend everyone to read this. Like, if you're going to be reading Animal Man by Lemire and Snyder's Swamp Thing, because they kind of happen at the same time, okay. I would recommend Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. And then also this another one, DMZ by Brian Wood. I can't forget that series. It's like kind of like, Iraq War set in U.S. kind of thing, like U.S. having a second civil war, and New York becomes DMZ, and it's just one reporter's journey through that. It's just like, there's like moments after moments that just kind of hits you in the field, and you remember every one of them, and the ending, I'll never forget that. But anyway, that was also another one. So yeah. Anyway,
Nice.
yeah, so it was a very good reading year for me, I would say. What do you guys think? Well, like, how did it go for you guys?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, you get to read more. We started the show, and
Yeah, the big deal for us.
yeah. So, and I think like 2019, and we actually have some plans that we've been talking about. That so there's gonna be some extra stuff gonna happen. We're still kind of in the planning stage for that. So yeah, but there's so many other new things that's coming out. Like especially with like Marvel's doing this miniseries, DC's doing that miniseries, like all this thing, and we're waiting for the trades or collector edition to come out to read it. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it. And with that, I guess that's a wrap, right?
We did it.
Yes, we did it. So before we sign off, do subscribe to us at our Instagram at Fangirlz with a Z Assemble. And also go to instocktrades.com to find all the books that we just talked about, and also many more. You can find Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Image, all of them for up to 42% off, even sometimes even more. New releases are often 50% off. You can find all the other indie publishers for cheap as like 30% to 20% off as well. And free shipping in US after $50, after spending $50. And then, so do you guys have a pick of the week ready? Kristan?
Ooh. I don't.
Happening.
Yeah, what am I reading? Oh, I'm currently reading Doom Patrol by Gerard Way.
Oh my god. How
Yeah.
are you liking it?
It's very odd. I knew that would happen though. It's enjoyable. I don't know what's happening, but it's enjoyable.
Okay, do keep
I'll
us
know more
posted.
later. Yeah.
Okay, do get it posted. Fatty?
I didn't read anything this week because I was just prepping for conventions.
Right.
So,
Mine would be Mariko Tamaki's She-Hulk. We're going to talk more about it. You're going to see, if you subscribe to the Instagram, you'll see more why I liked it. But anyway, with that, have a good night. See you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.